You appreciate it, brother, for sure. That always get me going. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger and exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the extension of the Son of Man. I would like to greet every brother and sister with the greeting words of peace, which we say in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, family. This is your brother, Knowledge 5845 on the ground, author determined to change, student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan by the way of the eternal leader, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I could never thank Allah enough for appearing in the person of Master Father Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. I pray to Allah God that every brother and sister is fine and well on this Thursday afternoon. Yeah, and you know, hey, we want to get right to it. I'm live on my YouTube as well. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, Winford X, please go ahead and do so. I'm striving to build up my YouTube page. Also, we're getting closer and closer to our debut. We're launching Meet the FOI podcast. Our first episode is going to be launched Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Me and brother Alonzo X, better known as Shinobi Muhammad, in Miles 48 in Dallas, we've come together. I'm his co-host, and we've come together to create a platform called Meet the FOI podcast, right? And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get this launch going, to put this out in front of the brothers and sisters, to put this out in front of the people. Being a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, man, it's you know, when I see my brothers and sisters on their platforms, and I see when I'm able to scroll down and see the beautiful job and amazing job, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, it only enhances me. It entices me to know that, you know, I'm a soldier for Muhammad. I'm a soldier for Allah, and all the things that I've been through in my lifetime, and I'm still here. I'm still here to not complain, rather, but more praise. Be humble enough, strive to be humble, and to thank Allah for allowing me to connect with brothers and sisters that understands that it's not just about them, but understand the mission as a whole, meaning that you're shrinking yourself. You shrink yourself, man. You know, peace to the God of Pith Parable. Peace and blessings, brother. Thank you for joining. I see my sister Lady CC is in the building. Twin 8804 is in the building. Y'all share the live, man. You know, always share the live when y'all come in. Share the live, share the live, share the live, because what we're doing is, you know, we're striving to better our condition. We're striving to better ourselves as individuals, something that we can hear, something that we can reflect on, and something that we can go on our own personal time and start to actually implement some things and put some things together in our own life, right? So with that being said, no further ado, today's live. Like I said, I'm live on YouTube right now. So if you see me looking back and forth like this, that's because I'm on my device with my Instagram, and I'm also on my laptop on my YouTube, right? So what I want to talk about today, brothers and sisters, where a lot moved my heart, and I was inspired this morning to study. And I want to talk about believing without a sign. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Sister Henderson, I appreciate it. Thank you. All praise is due to Allah. I'm just thankful to Allah that I'm able to be a vessel, right? Okay, so today's live is consisting of, we're talking about believing without a sign. Oh man, this is a heavy topic. This is a heavy topic because and one thing I like to do on my platform is I like to really not put all of myself there or all of my business and privacy. You know, there is a such thing as privacy, but I want to go far enough just to touch everybody else, right? Certain things is just for you and Allah, all right? But I want to be able to be used enough to go to where I can touch you by the grace and the will of God, right? And I know when I came up with this topic, believing without a sign, sometimes as human beings, we feel like that. We feel like we can have all of the teachings. We have some very, very great teachings amongst us, right? We've been blessed to be revealed divine revelation. We've been blessed to have an example. We've been blessed to have the Messiah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in our midst. All of the trials and tribulations, all of the past things that we've experienced in our own life, and we're still here. So all of the things, if we look at that happen in our own personal lives, it allows us to have strong testimonies, right? It allows us to have some strong testimonies. So it awakens the reality of God inside of ourselves. So believing without a sign. Some people say that they don't believe in the Bible. Some people say that they don't believe in the Holy Quran. But man, I tell you, see, those books, if we are patient with ourselves, if we are to go through those books and we say we don't believe in those books, let me tell you something. It's really like saying you don't believe in the value that you possess from within. I'm going to say it again. When we say that we don't believe in the Bible, we don't believe in the Holy Quran, oh, those books are this and those books are that, and I go on the ancestors, and that wasn't for us, and all this old type of stuff. We're so messed up. We're so messed up. We're so messed up. But what we fail to realize is that a lot of the things that are in the Bible, a lot of the things that are in the Quran, that comes out of the human being. It's all revealed through inspiration, through revelation, through the reality of the highest manifestation of God's creation, which is man and woman. So by us reading those books are just reminders of what's already inside of us, right? I know y'all have heard me say that more than once. Those are just confirmations. So for us to read those things, because a lot of it is decisive. But then you have allegorical scriptures. You have allegorical verses that we may not understand. So it takes a teacher. It takes one who's qualified. Does that mean that you're disqualified of what you may feel? No, it does not. But look at the mercy of God. Look at remember, God has emotion, but God doesn't lead with his emotion. God did not build the universe. He didn't put the planets in place. He didn't allow the planets to rotate, right, at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. He didn't do that on emotion. He constructed all of that and structured that on intelligence. So therefore, if we give ourselves an opportunity, right? If we give ourselves an opportunity to say, well, let me read the scriptures, you're going to awaken something inside of yourself. The reality of you inside is going to have to bear witness, because like I said, the books are reminders, and we need reminders. Hell, we've been messed up. We don't even know how to construct or how to be civilized. That's why we needed one to come amongst us, or to be raised amongst us, that would be qualified, that would be qualified enough to be a guide, G-O-D, a God, and a guide, G-U-I-D-E, a God. I don't want nobody to get spooky and say, oh, he's calling Farrakhan a God. Well, you're a God too. We're all gods of the Most High God. The Most High God is the perfect intelligence that you are operating on from inside of your reality, from your existence. No matter what condition that you're in or whatever state that you're in, being shaped in iniquity, the perfect God is still preserved in you because you're in existence. There is no way that it could not be. That's why it says in the scriptures, ye are created perfect, but yet imperfect, right? Ye are perfect. That's Allah. That's the supreme being. That's that intelligence that allowed you as an individual to come into existence, for you to come forth. But the yet imperfect is you and I, the surface, you and I. That is me and you, right? That's me and you. So now we have to focus on the imperfection of the perfection so we can align the imperfection with the perfection that is inside of us. So we're talking about believing without a sign. Well, I know I'll be the first to raise my hand to say that sometimes believing without a sign can be very challenging. You find yourself in heavy trials and tribulations. And, you know, what do? We try to fix the problems. Okay, I can fix it with this, or I can fix it with that. And when we do that, we find ourselves still losing. We find ourselves still behind the 8 ball. We find ourselves not growing. We find ourselves in an even deeper ditch than we was already in. Why? Because we're striving, we're trying to operate on our own intelligence. A lot of time we making decisions based off of the emotion, and God is saying that you're not going to come up with the solution by yourself, because we judge and we make decisions based off of emotion. So how can we believe and still win without a sign? That means that when we believe without a sign, the only way that we're going to be able to stay ahead, the only way that we're going to be able to stay in the favor of God, stay in the bosom of God, stay in accord with that intelligence that can move us in the right direction, is we have to submit up under it. So I wrote down some things talking about believing without a sign, right? First of all, in order to believe without a sign, we have to have some type of faith. We have to have a form of faith. What is faith? Faith is the evidence of things not seen. See, if you have the evidence, it's easy to stay encouraged. It's easy to stay encouraged when you have the evidence, when you can see it. So God is saying, oh, so you only going to submit when I show it to you? You only going to be in accordance when something troubles you in your life? If I don't show you a sign, you're gonna fall apart? I've done it. But we go back to say, I don't read the Quran. I don't read the Bible. Those are reminders. Anything that we go through in our life, we can go to those scriptures, Bible or Quran, and we can pull something out. We can abstract something from that. See? It's not that we're submitting to the book. It's just being reminded what's already in us. The book is a study guide to give us to remove all the debris and say the answer is already in there. All you got to do is, oh, okay, move some stuff around and activate. There go your answer. So we're talking about believing without a sign. It's easy to stay encouraged when you can see it, but that's not faith. That's not what faith is. We all say we have faith, but in the Quran, Allah says that I allow the believer to be tried at least once a year in severity, meaning a severe trial. So we already know that that's coming. We know that that's coming. We already know year in and year out. God had already gave us a warning and said, I'm going to try you. I'm going to put something, I have to build you. So I'm going to allow some things to come your way. So just be prepared. Just get ready for it. That's the only way that we're going to be able to grow. Because if I see the evidence, I'm not going to be able to maximize my highest potential. What faith do I need if I'm already seeing God what's coming for me? There's nothing to activate. Peace to my brother, Robert Land. Thank you for joining, brother. It's nothing to activate. See, what about when we praying, but you're not getting any answers? Am I the only one on the live who's been really in a sincere prayer with strong intentions, praying to come out of a condition, praying to be revealed a sign, and there is no answer? Don't make the mistake getting angry at God, saying, God, here I am praying, but I'm not seeing any results. I'm not seeing any signs. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. We've made that mistake. I know I have. I'll be praying for something, really, really praying for something. I don't see no sign. God, here I am. I'm coming to you. I'm crying. I'm broken. And I'm still not seeing a sign. Don't make the mistake of allowing that to turn your anger towards the reality of God. See, this is what Thomas did in the scriptures. This is why it's good for us to go to the scriptures. This is what Thomas did. See, all of us, when we read these characters, these prophets in the scriptures, you're going to be able to align something in your life, a situation that's happened to where you actually living it out right now. It's for you. It's a reminder. We don't want to be like Thomas, but the reality is we have to be Thomas sometimes. Thomas doubted the resurrection of Jesus, and he was demanding a physical proof. Come on. He was demanding a physical proof of the wounds of Christ's crucifixion. Thomas wouldn't believe. Other disciples believing. Thomas said, no, I need to see something. That's where that phrase, doubting Thomas, comes from. It's coined with the lack of faith. Look, let me say this. I'm not stepping on Thomas trying to say that, oh, I'm better. Thomas is no. It's there for us to learn from, because that character that Thomas had, lack of faith, doubting, at some point in our life, we all gonna have to go through that. I don't care if you say, oh, I'm a believing person. I'm a believer of God. God is on my side. Cool. That's fine. But you gotta face that. That's a part of that character of Thomas is in all of us. Peace to my brother on my YouTube, Lil O Dog Ozone 305, coming all the way from Miami, Florida, Miami 305. Thank you for joining, brother. So if any of us want to pinpoint, I want you to go to John in your Bible. Go to John chapter 20, verse 24. Matter of fact, I have mine right here. Let's read about Thomas and the lack of faith that Thomas had. See, I don't want us to talk down on Thomas. I don't want us to say, oh, Thomas, he had a lack of faith. He this and that. See? Because at some point in our life, that's us. And you're going to become Thomas again as you keep living. Let's read. Jesus appears to Thomas. Now, Thomas called Didymus. This is Thomas' name, because I know you might be looking for, where's Thomas at? Where is Thomas? His name was Didymus. One of the 12 was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I would not believe. What is that saying? Let's take it back to, let's look at our life right now. Because we don't want to put it in the wrong context, and then we be confused saying, how does that apply to my life? He's talking about actually touching a mark. He wants to see the mark where the finger where the nails were and put his hand in the side. He said, I won't believe. It's just like saying situations. God has brought us out of many situations before. We still here. We've made it to 20, everybody on this live, despite your condition, despite whatever has happened to you, we're still here. We've made it to 2023. So Thomas is saying, I need to touch the wound where Jesus was wounded. I need to see that. Huh? So here it is. We come in a situation. We come into a trial and tribulation. We come into a storm. God then brought us out of many storms. But here it is. We come into God like, I need to see a sign. Haven't I shown you many signs? Ain't you still here? God is just. We can't outwit the intelligence of the reality of the supreme being. So that means we must humble ourselves. We have to contemplate. We have to think about the reminders. Okay, yeah, I'm in a tough spot right now. I am. I'm in a tough spot. I'm in a heavy trial. But I'm going to stay optimistic. I'm not going to complain. When I find myself complaining, I'm going to challenge my spirit. I'm going to challenge my thoughts. I'm going to challenge my decision making. Instead of complaining, I'm going to praise. I don't care what you got to do. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Somebody may say, oh, this person talking to themselves and they answering themselves. They must be crazy. Man, I talk to myself and answer. Y'all didn't hear me? I talk to myself and answer. When nobody is around, whatever you have to do to show God that, God, I'm here. A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be to you. It's just like us saying, Assalamu alaikum. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. This is what Jesus is telling Thomas. Walaikum salam to my brother Solution. Thank you for joining, brother. Stop doubting. Don't doubt. But the reality of it is, when we in a current situation and everything is looking bad, yes, we doubt. I'm not the only one. I hope not. I'm a human being. That's why we have to be reminded. So someone asked earlier in the chat, how do you keep your faith on a daily basis? Well, that means that you have to hold yourself accountable, meaning that you got to put your face in something that's going to allow you to stay ignited in your faith. You're going to have to start reading your scriptures every day. If you want to feel some type of soothing in your soul, to give you some type of confirmation when you cannot see, when you're having to believe without seeing a sign. See, before we can literally see the sign physically, we have to be able to see the sign in our mind. Kun fayakun, be and it is. It's almost like, I don't want to go there. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God. Then Jesus told him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Oh man, I feel so good. It's trouble around me. I'm going to get personal with you. I'm going to bring you just a little bit. It's trials and tribulations around me now. Heavy trials around me. But at this moment in time, I'm feeling drunken in the spirit, because God is confirming to me. See, I'm live right now. I'm talking to you, but God is allowing me to talk to me. God is allowing me to hear. He's allowing me to hear, and you can feel a light lifting physically being in the Word of God. I know that's cliche. Oh man, going to your Bible, going to your Quran. When you having trouble, go do this, go do that. It seems cliche, right? It seems so traditional. But so much cliche as it is, and so much traditional as it is, how many times do we actually fall through and do it and actually feel that difference? Believing without a sign, man. Believing without a sign. He says, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Man, we look at our current condition. I'm going to tell you something else. It says, this is when we have to dig down deep. Just because you don't see a sign doesn't mean God is not working. I made a post the other day. Where I put exactly just that. Just because you don't see a sign doesn't mean God is not working. So don't trick yourself out of position with Almighty God Allah. Don't trick yourself out of position because I couldn't wait. It's too long. I wanted it ASAP. But God is the most high. He's the most intelligent amongst all of us. So God is saying, look, if I give you this blessing now, you're going to fumble it. You're not going to do right by it. I need you to feel what you're feeling a little bit more. I need you to endure a little bit more. So while you thinking that your current condition is working against you, it's working for you. All praise is due to Allah. It's working for you, but we don't have the intelligence or the patience. It takes a skill to have patience. And in order to have patience, in order to have the skill to acquire, to have the patience, you got to have some type of knowledge of the skill to have the patience. What is the knowledge of the skill to have the patience? Well, it is faith. Faith is the evidence of things not seen, but yet still believe. Very important. Very important. The people that you're around every day, the people that you're around every single day, words, see, y'all remember the saying, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words that never hurt me? That's not true. I don't care how strong we try to be. Words can hurt. Words can do damage to your belief system. So if words can do damage to your belief system, then that means the next thing that we must do, we must protect our atmosphere. We must protect the reality of what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, let me see this person coming to your life. Why are you here? What is your motive? What is your reason you're coming into my life? Analyze it a little bit. We have to be strong enough to say, you know what? Yeah, you've been here long enough. I ain't seeing, I'm not. May peace and blessings be upon you, but this is my exit. We got to be able to do that. Sometimes our faith and sometimes our strength is not built up enough to, when people come in and we see that this is not good, this is toxic. Sometimes we don't have the strength to take them back out of our life. I've been there too. I've brought people in my life and it's hard to get them out. I know I ain't the only one that's done that. You brought somebody in your life and it's hard to get them out. But it's hard to get them out. We make it more harder than it really is. Huh. Lady CC said, do that. Go for bloodline. Huh? Some people be in our life and we try to justify keeping them there. Okay, woo. I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say this. He said, tricking the mind is playing with truth. See, self-improvement is going to whip the hell out of us. But that's a good chastisement. That's a good whooping that we need. Believing without a sign. It's a hell of a challenge. It's trials and tribulations. It's not so much as the person or whatever comes into your life that you're trying to get rid of. They're not the enemy. Let me say it again. You bring something in your life and now you try to get it back out. Guess what? They're not the enemy. You got to face yourself. Now you got to turn into the inner me. You hear that? Enemy, inner me, enemy, 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 enemy. Man, can't nobody make you do nothing that you don't want to do. I don't care what they say. Oh, this, that, another. Yeah. I'm done with it. I'm not going to keep hurting me. I'm not going to keep harming me. That's insane. Stop. You ain't looking at them no more. You got to turn about face. You got to turn towards yourself. You got to slap yourself. Hey. Don't look at them. Look at me. Look at me. Hey, don't worry about them. Look at me. You want to get them out of your life? Damn what they say. Oh, man, you flaky. Oh, man, you a hypocrite. Oh, man, this and that. If it's up to saving your life and your consciousness, and the God in you is saying, look, you don't owe no explanations. If it's not good for you, get rid of it. Sometimes when we don't see a sign, that's because God trusts us to keep moving forward. God is trusting us to keep moving forward. Abraham, the friend of Allah, God didn't send him a sign. I think it was 13 years. Come on, brother, brother Robert, Pastor Robert. How long was it before Abraham got another sign? Was it 13 years? He looking for a sign. Ain't nothing coming down the pipe. Steady looking. I'm waiting. God said, what, you just gonna wait? Or are you gonna keep moving? See, God is always with us. God is always 12. Okay, my man said it was 12. 12. Okay, 12. I mean, but just, yeah, I think it was 13, but it may be 12. But just think about that. Just think about what makes that so significant. Why would that be in the scriptures? Abraham waiting and waiting and waiting on a sign. Waiting. Because you are the book. You are the Bible. You are the Quran. You are a walking Quran. You are a walking Bible. It manifested in the 13th year. Praise be to Allah. So that means we don't look at Abraham's life and try to strain ourselves to think 4,000 years ago. No. We apply that, we take that, and we use that in our own life. Okay, damn. All right. If I'm seeing that this happened, then that means that if God is the same God of old from yesterday, from years and years and years and years ago, then that means that applies to me too. So sometimes when we don't see a sign, That's because God trusts us enough to keep moving forward. God don't owe us anything. God don't have to explain nothing, but in his mercy, eventually he does. God don't leave us clueless. At a particular time, you might be saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know, and there's not a sign, but God say, okay, well, don't stop. Don't stop moving. I got you. You think God gonna use an emotion because you start crying? Oh God, please, I don't know what to do. God is looking at you just like this here. Ain't no emotion tied to that. Oh, they're crying. No, that ain't how the reality of God is set up. God said, I brought you into existence from myself. Only reason why I've allowed you to come into existence is to come into perfection. How blessed are we? How blessed are we to come into the world as a human being and not to come into the world as an insect, a lower creature of the earth? God allowed all of us as individuals to come here to be able to reason. We can reason our existence. That's powerful. That's powerful. This next question, I want you to really, really consider this. I want you to really think about this, because a lot of time when we in heavy trials, a lot of time when we're going through something so deep, we don't think about the simple things. We don't ask ourselves the simple questions. Because as the trials are surrounding us, everything seems complicated. Everything seems so complex, so challenging. And they may be. Finance, death in the family, diseases, sickness. Have you ever considered that what God is preparing for you and taking you is going to require you to believe without a sign? Oh, this is heavy. Have we ever considered that? My mission, my assignment, my journey that I'm on in life. God, I'm looking for a sign. The intelligence of God is saying, I don't want to show you no sign yet, because the mission that I have, the assignment that I have for you, I'm going to need you to be so strong. If I show you what I have for you in store, where you at right now, you're not going to be built up enough to handle the assignment. Man, you got to think, listen, we got to be able to praise a God like that. How can we defeat that? How can we beat that? God said, I got something for you, but I can't show you this sign yet. You're not going to maximize your greatest potential if I show you the sign now. So I need you to keep building, because what you're about to face, you're going to need it all. And when we hold down and we continue to stay on course, once we get to what God has brought us and it's time to be exposed, God say you have everything that you need. You ready? You ready? And others will see that you're ready. Others will see that you're ready. If you see the evidence all the time, it will limit you how far we can go. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna close. I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. Instead of complaining, strive to do more praising and be aware of your surroundings. People can talk you out of your blessings. People can talk us out of our blessings. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. You be feeling one day, you get up, you exit, you ready to take on a challenge. Then somebody come in your life with their bad spirit. Guess what happened? They bring it to you. Boom. By the time you know it, man, you was on this course, man. You didn't got off. You didn't reroute it. You didn't got off track. So we got to be careful. We have to be able to protect our decision making from the outside and from what's inside. Okay, Brother Robert said Abraham waited 25 years. Joseph waited 13 years. Moses waited 25 years. Jesus waited 30 years before God's will was performed through them. Oh, come on. Oh, Brother Robert. Oh, Pastor Robert. Oh, Pastor Robert. Thank you, brother, for that jewel. Come on. Did y'all hear this? Abraham waited 25 years. Joseph waited 13. My correction. Thank you, brother. Thank you for correcting me. I'll correct that in public. Abraham waited 25 years. Joseph waited 13 years. Moses waited 25 years. Jesus waited 30 years before God's will was performed through them. So look, that should encourage us. If we know these, I'm going to call them icons, these prophets, if we can see these iconic figures in scripture, look how long they had to wait. We can't even wait a week. We get upset with the God 2 or 3 days. Oh, God, I've been praying for 3 days. What? This is good. This is good. So someone asked earlier, how do you stay motivated, or how do you keep your faith on a daily? By reading stuff like that. So that means that you have to study. So that means that you got to really structure you a daily planner. Okay, I'm gonna wake up, make my prayer from so and so time. Okay, I got to be at work at 9. Okay, from 7 to 7:30, I'm going to get this out. Boom. However your day is, you got to make that time for yourself. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself that. And let me tell you, give you a little motivation, a little inspiration. When God see you do that, it don't have to be perfect. It's not going to start out like you want it. God is saying, just get started. Don't worry. Just start, man. Don't, because if you continuously, if you have to put blinders on. I want y'all to hear me, please. When you're going through a heavy trial, man, I'm telling you, you got to put blinders on, because if you start looking too far, or you start looking too much out of your range, you're going to see something that's going to entice you, or you're going to see something that you don't have, and you're going to compare it to your current condition, and then there go your faith. It's gone down the drain. You got to start over again. You look too far. I've done that more than once. More than once. Where I have to find myself having to start over. Damn. And you know what's so crazy? God gonna let you see clear where you screwed up. And when God revealed that to us, we should not be embarrassed. We should be thankful. We should be thankful and say, oh, thank you. Because it's better to see it than not to see it. It's better to be able to pinpoint it and say, okay, yes, right there. That's that's a impediment that I have. Identify it and deal with it. I don't care how much money you have. A lot of us think that we got money, we successful. Man, I know plenty of people that got money. Man, let me be quiet. I know plenty of people that got money. I know plenty of people that got money. Millions. But see, that's what's so beautiful about the reality of God. God say all the time, I don't care nothing about your money. Your money can't get you to the kingdom of heaven. That's like sending a camel through the eye of a needle. That ain't for God. That money is not for Allah. People look at their money and think that their status is, oh, look at, yeah. But like Steve Harvey said, every level have more problems. That's right. God has no respect for a person. And you know what? And I'm gonna let you in on something else. The more money you get, it's easy for a lot of people to forget Allah, forget the reality of who gave it to them, who's allowing them to have that money. Easy for you to forget. But we've been deprived so long, we'll sell our soul because we've been deprived of materialistic things. We look around and our eyes is swooning. Our eyes are, our head is on a swivel, and we're looking at so many successful, so-called successful people. We're looking at them. Oh, they got money. Oh, they just got money. Oh, they got a big old yacht. Oh, look, they enjoying their life. Don't you know? See, that's what Satan does. Satan never wants you to do a thorough research, meaning Satan never wants you to go behind the veil. Satan never wants you to dig deep. Satan never wants you to crack the surface. Satan is always a surface dweller. Satan is a surface dweller. What does that mean? I can paint a nice picture for you, but what's behind it? We don't know. We don't know. He don't want you to see what's behind it. He don't want you to dig deep. Because once you continue to dig deep, now Satan become exposed. Now watch this. You think I'm talking about somebody outside of yourself, don't you? No, man. I'm talking about the inside. That's what we have to fight with. That surface. Things can seem so appeasing and enticing to us, and we have to fight and go to war with ourselves inside to look behind the veil. We're talking about believing without a sign. Believing without a sign. All praise is due to Allah. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to close. I thank every brother and sister for being on the live, man. I really, really do. I thank Allah for allowing me to. This is when I can have my peace. Not just not for me to hold it to myself, but for me to be inspired to say, man, let me talk to the people. Let me talk to my brothers and sisters, man. You know, we want to have nice things. We want to be able to enjoy life, but we also want to be in the reality of it. We also want to be able to connect and be like, no, tell me the truth. Give me that real stuff. I need the real. I need to hear something that I can see right in my own life right now saying, yeah, everything is not ice cream and cake. All praise is due to Allah. So, brothers and sisters, before I close, remember this. Remember, you are the book. But we've been through so much, through generation after generation after generation after generation, that in order for us to be reminded, in order for us to activate, we have to go into the scriptures. We have to go into the Bible. We have to go into the Holy Quran. Because when we go into these books, guess what? I want you to start remembering this. When we go into the books, we're going into ourselves. Don't let nobody trick you out of your position on believing, because it's going to come a time where we're going to have to believe without seeing a sign. It's going to come a time. That time might be right now. You might be in it right now. Man, I got to believe when I don't see nothing. It's that deep. It's that deep. So just remember, when you dig into your scriptures, you're going into yourself. So if there is anything that I've said, brothers and sisters, that has rubbed anyone the wrong way, that's not my true intention at all. But if there is something that I've said of benefit, understand that it comes directly from Allah through me. I'm proud to say that I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and if you are interested in joining the Nation of Islam, you can go to NOI.org and go to NOI.org/join.com and get in the processing class of accepting your own and being yourself. You can come as you are. You can come as you are. None of us have room to about this person when we have all this baggage ourselves. See, my platform is for grown men and women. We're brothers and sisters. When you on this platform, when you come into this, into our little old vehicle, I determined to change vehicle. We're brothers and sisters. This is what the Nation of Islam, this is what the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, guided and taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is what it has taught me. This self-improvement, everything that we're talking about, believing without a sign, self-improvement. That's what it is. So I'm honored. I'm honored, brothers and sisters. So may Allah continue to bless every last one of you. Again, later today, me and my brother Alonzo X, known as Brother Shinobi Muhammad, will be going live, getting prepared to launch our first episode of Meet the FOI podcast this Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're going to go live later today, and we're just going to be kind of like doing like a prelude, getting everybody prepared. But man, I'm gonna tell you something. This, you know, I thank a lot for brother Alonzo X. This brother does a lot of heavy lifting. He does a lot of heavy lifting to, make this possible, make this successful. And the brother chose me. The brother chose little old me. Brother said, brother, I've been following you, brother. I've been listening to you. I would like for you to be my co-host on Meet the FOI podcast, brother. We're talking about gangs in different organizations, prison, mass incarceration, self-improvement. We're talking about holding ourselves accountable. We're talking about conditions of what we've experienced as Black men and women. We're really targeting these organizations and these gangs, Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, Black Stones, Peace Stones, Latin Kings, all of it. We are our worst enemy, not the white man. The white man can't make us do nothing. It is us. This make the enemy mad and upset, man. When we come together and we're discussing things like this, and we not only discussing or preaching, no, we're striving to move towards some things and putting things in action. That's right, the inner me, self-improvement. You think the government gonna like when all these Black men and women start literally loving themselves? They don't. They listen. They lose. If we turn towards loving ourselves and respecting ourselves in self-improvement, what can they use? They can't use us anymore. We're only tools to them. We don't have value to them. They see our value. They see it. But they don't want us to use our value for our own success, for our own selves. They want us to use our value for them. Modern day slavery. So let's come together. So remember that. Meet the FOI podcast. If you go to my YouTube on this particular this YouTube right here, Believing Without a Sign, right? If you go into the description, you will see the link. You'll see the link to where you can go and you can look at everything that me and my brother Alonzo Ace, what we have. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on Instagram. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on TikTok. We got 24-hour radio 24/7 where you can go listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can go listen to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad 24/7. Challenge. Let's challenge ourselves. That's right. Clubs will be empty. Liquor stores, dope houses. We got to show the younger generation that it's cool to embrace one another. It's cool to be in unity. So I'm honored, man. I'm honored. So again, I thank every brother and sister for being on the live, man. I always thank for y'all to support me. I thank you for supporting with the Final Call newspapers and just being a participant, man, and being able to see something when you get off the live, being able to see something within yourself. That's all praises be to Allah. And that's our goal. My mission is to get us to turn towards a man who God has given us a blessing to listen to. And the ultimate goal is to listen to him and turn towards ourselves and love ourselves. That's the main destination. Being able to turn towards ourselves. But in order for us to turn towards ourselves and love ourselves properly, let's focus on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let's focus on self-improvement. Let's focus on the reality of the things that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought us. And I believe we'll be just fine. So with that being said, may Allah continue to bless every last one of you and your families. I greet you in the greeting words of peace, which we say in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum.